Hey friends, Sleepy here, and welcome to a new episode of my weekly playlist series. It's Friday, so that means it's time for me to let you guys know about the games I've been playing, let you guys know my thoughts and opinions on them, whether I think you guys should check them out or not. Of course, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on the games I share with you today. Let me know your thoughts if you played them before, what your thoughts are on them. I'd also like to hear about the games you guys are playing, as that gives me great ideas and new games to check out. So let me know about those games. Really appreciate everybody who shares their games with me every week, as you guys are continuing to pique my interest in a lot of games. And if you have a suggestion for a game you think I should check out, let me know. I am always looking forward to checking out new games, and I love hearing about games that you guys think I should check out, so keep those coming as well. I do want to apologize that it has been several weeks since my last episode of this. I did not film one the last 2 weeks, as I've just been super busy with work. I've been putting in a lot of overtime, and I just really haven't been playing any video games, as I've just been busy doing stuff besides work in my free time. So I haven't had a whole lot of time to game. I also stopped playing Record of Lotus War for the Dreamcast temporarily, because I just got a brand new game that just came out on Tuesday before Thanksgiving, so on the 22nd last week. However, GameStop, where I pre-ordered it, actually didn't show up, and I wasn't able to pick it up until Friday after Thanksgiving, and that's when it actually showed up. And it's for the Xbox One, but it's also on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and the PC. And that is a game called Evil West, which this is a really sweet vampire western game. So it's set in the West, the Wild West, and you're a vampire hunter. Really awesome game I'm having a blast with, and it's one that I really am enjoying. So let's take a look at Evil West. Alright friends, we're taking a look today at Evil West. So this is a new game that just came out on Tuesday last week before Thanksgiving. I've been having an absolute blast playing through this game the last few days. Really awesome vampire game set in the Wild West. So you play as Jesse Rentier, and you are a vampire hunter, and you work for this Rentier Institute, which your father started. And your group is dedicated to eliminating the vampire threat that America faces. And your institution is secretive, so it hides the fact that vampires exist from the general public's knowledge, so they don't know that vampires exist, because they don't want to scare the average citizen. But they're the ones who work behind the scenes to eliminate the various vampires that are out there. So let's check it out. Another thing that's really cool about this game is it is co-op, so you can play this game with another person and go through the entire story mode. The game does take place during the day, but it also has night segments and stuff. Has very nice visuals, especially playing here on my 4K TV with HDR. The graphics look amazing, and if you had an Xbox Series console, it would look even better. I'm playing it here on my Xbox One X, but the visuals are just absolutely stunning and really beautiful, especially out here in this desert. Just looks really nice. Did a really good job with the art. I really like the character models, the models for like the horses, the foliage, the terrain, like everything. There's a lot of detail in the environment that looks great. The music is also amazing in this game, and so is the voice acting, very top notch. I'll show you guys the menu system. So you have your character here, where you can upgrade various weapons. As this game reminds me a lot, art style wise, of like Gears of War, but there's no cover system. And it also has a heavy emphasis on melee, but you also have a pistol, a shotgun, and then like a rifle weapon that you can use, and you mix it up as you battle the various vampires. You also can upgrade Jesse's character stuff, so you can upload his guns, and you can upload his gauntlet with money that you find throughout the world. You also have perks that you can unlock as well, which then help you with combos and different abilities based as you level up, as you gain XP from killing enemies. And I'm currently level 4, and I have $3,027. There's also a lore here which you can go through and check out the various chapters, which I'm currently on chapter 5 of 16. What I really like is the chapters keep track of all of the collectibles that you can get in those levels, where you can find money, you can find gold chests, and you can also find little collectible things that may give you notes, or it might be artifacts or something, which will give you some more lore into the world that this game is set in. You also can talk about the different characters, and it gives you a little bio of them. Different vampire creatures that you'll run into as you go through the story, which you guys know I don't want to ruin story for you, so I don't go too much detail for that, because this is a very linear game. It's not one of these open world games. I saw a lot of complaints online of people complaining that it wasn't like an open world game where it's like a linear game. You go from point A to point B and go through the story, which is another thing that kind of reminds me of like Gears of War. You know, you go through a story and you play through it and continue on from there. So it's definitely a linear game, but you know, we don't need to have every single game open world. You know, personally, I do enjoy these games that are like, because this one's you can play and beat in about 10 to 15 hours depending on the difficulty settings. You have an easy all the way up to like the hardest nightmare difficulty, and of course the harder difficulty you play on, the more difficult the game is. And now these are the Sanguistas. These are the vampires that you're fighting, and this gives you a little description of the various kinds that you will encounter. So as you play through the game, you'll encounter different kinds of vampires. There's also some monsters that work with vampires that you'll get into, and as you play through you get more kinds, and you know, they're more difficult and stuff. It's really cool. But then they also have servants, which are humans that you'll run into, who work for the vampires, and they let their masters feed on them, and they're hoping that one day they might become a vampire themselves. So you have a huge variety of enemies to fight, and then these have all the different various collectibles that you can get. And of course, you know, if you miss something, you can always reload a chapter and you can find the collectibles that you miss. I always like to go through and just play through the story on normal, and then I like to then go back through a second time and mop up all the missing collectibles with a guide. And then sometimes I like to play a third time if I really like the game and play on the hardest difficulty, which this is one of those games that I am really enjoying. So I definitely see myself beating it multiple times, and I would enjoy actually like to play through it co-op with a buddy or something. I think that'd be kind of fun. And then there's all kinds of tutorials. So as you play through the first 4 chapters, the game really starts giving you a lot of tutorials, and you can upgrade your character and you unlock new abilities and stuff. So really good. And then there's also a lot of options for this game that you can adjust different settings and stuff to tweak to your own personal liking. So very cool. So let's see if I can get into a battle here.
Mangled, mutilated, ripped apart. Bloom, what did you walk into?
And the game is also very bloody and violent, which makes it awesome. And there are sometimes secret paths like here where you can find as you play through missions, and you can find hidden loot and stuff throughout the game. So it does pay to explore as well, because you just never know what you'll find. Another thing I really like is that objects you can interact with are highlighted, so you know where you can go and what you can interact with. So it looks like here's some human enemies, so I can show you guys. So something's really cool is when you see that little highlight portion, you can do a quick shot, and it does a weak point on the enemy and does extra damage for him. As you can see, that guy shot his arms off. Ooh, it took his head off. Nice.
This species appears to possess shape-shifting abilities, most uncommon for the typical sanguisuge. I dare say, this ability might be blood-dependent, but it's hard to tell based on the limited amount of evidence found. I'm wondering if we're witnessing some sort of accelerated evolution, spurred perhaps by certain unknown environmental factors.
So that's one of the little collectibles you can find too. Alright guys, so I'm going to pause it here, and then we'll resume when I get to a bigger battle with like vampire creatures so you guys can see what that kind of combat is like. Alright, we're about to enter a battle here. So it's really cool, sometimes you can interact with certain objects, like shoot things so that you can create a path. So here we go up here, and I'll show you guys some vampires that we're going to fight up here. So your guns have unlimited ammo, you just have to recharge it. You also don't find health kits, but you can kill enemies, and some enemies will drop health, especially if you do finishing moves on them. They will give you health back. Got me. So you can see, even on like normal difficulty, it can be a little challenging at times. And that's actually only the second time I ever died in this game. You then can also dodge around. And there's some other cool moves you can do, like you can uppercut enemies and toss them in the air and shoot them. So there's all kinds of combos that you can unlock and learn to dispatch the various enemies. Tried to do a quick dodge on him. Oh,
Something terribly wrong is happening here.
So I just wanted to give you guys a little taste of the combat and how the gameplay is. It's really cool. So I did pre-order this game from GameStop, and if you have a physical copy, at least for Xbox One, the pre-order bonus DLC is actually on the disc, and that gives you a couple little gold costumes here. As you can see, I got Jesse all decked out in gold outfit, and that is a little pre-order bonus. If you bought it digitally and didn't get the pre-order bonus, you can buy it for $3. But it's definitely one I would say, you know, isn't really needed. You can make it, you know, change a couple settings you can unlock, but you know, it's not really, it's just a cosmetic thing. But I always thought it was kind of neat having the DLC pre-order bonus actually on the disc. But definitely highly recommend you guys check out Evo West if you love vampire games and you like third-person adventure titles. Highly recommend you guys check out Evo West, as I'm having an absolute blast with it, and I'm hoping to have it beat here within the next couple weeks. But definitely check out Evo West. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that look at Evo West. Yeah, I had mentioned in the video that I had played earlier in the week that I'm having a blast with it. At that time I was only on chapter 5 of 16, and it is a game that is linear, so it's not like an open world game. It's not a game that's going to have hundreds of hours of content. You know, it's got a simple story that you go through and play through and enjoy, and you can play. Story will take, you know, between 10 to 15 hours depending on your own skill set and the difficulty you choose, because the higher difficulty, you know, the tougher the game is going to be for you to go through. But it's a really good game, great graphics, I love the music, I love the voice actors, they fit the characters really well, they got great character models and stuff, and it's absolutely visually stunning game. The Wild Hog studio, Flying Wild Hog Studio, did a really good job with this game. Now, this game was released at the full $60 price tag. However, I did not have to pay that because I had $30 in money at GameStop that I was able to use. I had because I have the Pro membership, I get $5 a month I was able to take off, and then I had 25,000 points, and I was able to get a $25 gift card. So I was able to take $30 off of this. So with tax and everything, it was like $35 for this, which I definitely think is a great price for it. At $60, I don't know if I would say the game is worth $60. This is more one of those games I would really say is worth the $39.99 price. So you may want to wait for a sale on this one, but definitely do recommend you guys check it out if you are a fan of vampire games like I am. I love vampire lore and stuff, and I really enjoy Vampire Hunter type of games. It's really cool, and I really like the character too. Jesse Rentier, like, I just think he looks like a badass character. They got a great voice actor for him, and he's just a really cool character. Now, what's also neat about this game is you can actually play it co-op in the game with another player, which is really sweet. So you can play it single player or you can play it co-op. So there is no focus at all on, you know, multiplayer battling or anything like that. You know, this is the kind of game I love because I'm a huge fan of single player games, and it's nice to see some more games focused on single player for those of us who are not into playing the competitive multiplayer games anymore. Definitely suggest you guys check out Evo West. Awesome game. It's just one you may want to wait for it to be on sale unless you're an absolute fan like I am of vampire stuff. And I definitely knew that this was going to be one of those games I was going to enjoy playing, as it does remind me a lot visually of like a Gears of War and the way the story is structured and stuff. But definitely check out Evo West. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Evo West if you had played it yet. Let me know about the games you guys are currently playing, and if you have a suggestion on a game you think I should check out, let me know, as I'm always looking for new games to check out and experience. I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care, have a great day, and Sleepy will see you next time.